This is Temin for Las Perlas del Mar, and we're here with Amy Goodman. Thank you very much for this interview.
Oh, it's great to be with you.
What strategies, environments, and events does one have, or does globalization offer, as new opportunities for taming globalization and patriarchy specifically?
Globalization is very important. What is problematic is corporate-led globalization. But grassroots globalization is the answer. People at the grassroots all over the world communicating with each other, which is why we have to keep the internet open and free, open access for all. It is absolutely critical for movements to be able to communicate with each other so that people aren't reinventing the wheel. After all, we are all dealing with many of the same things, whether we're talking about the corporatization of media or of energy policy, whether we're talking about the corporatization of war. These are all issues that people, wherever we are, whether we're in Canada, the United States, in Afghanistan, Iraq, or the Gulf of Mexico, we have to cope with, we have to change the situation so that people aren't suffering. And so we have to know what people are doing. Globalization is the answer. The way the corporations have tried to deal with it is by running the globalization, being in charge of it, and trying to prevent people at the bottom from communicating with each other. And that's what has to be challenged, and that's what has to be changed.
And going back to your point of corporate globalization, how has corporate globalization after the economic crisis, and I would rather say new economic policies with the reconstruction of neoliberalism, affected the feminization of poverty?
Women are always the hardest hit, but women are also the leaders. As Alice Walker said, we are the leaders we have been waiting for. And the fact that most people in the world who are poor are women, and yet I see women leaders in every realm, whether we're talking about fighting poverty, working for peace and against war. That's where the women are too. And that's why we need a democratic media, because people have to hear each other think, have to be able to see, listen to, watch what women are doing. And they're so often iced out of the media, which is why we have to make room for everyone. The media are the most important institutions on earth, more powerful than any bomb, more powerful than any missile, as an idea that explodes on the scene. We have to be able to talk to each other. That is the answer to war. What feeds war are stereotypes and caricatures. What defeats war is when we can talk to each other. Not necessarily agree, but find common ground, learn from each other's experiences. We've got to fight for a democratic media, an independent media. Thank you.